Hello and Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to you. Welcome to episode 7 of What Am I Listening To and Why. I did promise you one between Christmas and New Year. I've managed to fit it in and here it is. So, what are the last 6 LPs that I've been listening to? Let's dive straight in. Number 1. Funboy 3 with their second LP called Waiting. Now, Funboy 3 were like not an offshoot, in the special split. Terry Hall, Neville Staples, and Lionel Golding, I've never really known how to pronounce it. They had this band called Funboy 3. Now, this is the second album, which is a fuck of a lot more substantial than the first album. The first album meant fuck all to me. It has the lunatics have taken over the asylum, everything else is just like meh. This is produced by David Byrne and it's streets ahead. It's full of brilliant, brilliant songs and it's really got some meat on the bones. It's the almost unheard of case of the second album being way better than the first. The More I See Is the Less I Believe is the killer track on this record, which is about the Northern Ireland Troubles. But if you want a track that you would know about, I don't mean you, but it's probably, what's it called? The Tunnel of Love was the big single. The other one was a single too. So I really, really recommend this album. It's really strong from start to finish. All killer, no filler. Funboy 3, Waiting, produced by David Byrne. Numero 2. This is Prince and his band, The Revolution. This is their 7th album called Around the World in a Day. I am not a Prince fan by any stretch of the imagination. I accept that he's an amazing musician and all that kind of pish, but his records really did very little for me. And then I heard this about 2 years ago during lockdown, and it fucking blew me away. I've got a few Prince CDs and albums, and but this, I really love it. It's a very psychedelic album. It's the one that came after Purple Rain, which I don't really like Purple Rain, but I know it's a lot of people's favourites. This was the one he did next. I wouldn't say it was a commercial failure, but it wasn't like the massive success like Purple Rain was. Standout track on this is a really psychedelic kind of mellow thing called Condition of the Heart, which is just absolutely brilliant. I hate the first track and I hate the last track, so I tend to not bother with those. But the bits in the middle of the sandwich are absolutely fantastic. I don't know what Prince did next. He made another fucking 700 albums that were all, and then he went kind of blando funk. This is not blando funk. It's full of really good songs. Yes, it has that 80s kind of 80s production, which is always a bit, if you can get past that, and you'll have to get past that, but it's totally worth it. Prince and the Revolution, 1985, Around the World in a Day. If he's made a better album, I'm yet to hear it. Number 3. This is a really difficult one to do. As I say, I'm being honest, it's the last 6 albums I played. And I played this last night about 2 o'clock in the morning. I really liked it. It's The Passions. 30,000 Feet Over China. I tried to find out something about them, but there's really fuck all to find out about them. It's one of these moody late night guitar albums that are really good in the moment, but if you play it on a Monday morning, it might not be doing anything for you. The track that you probably know is I'm in Love with a German Film Star, which was, I think, I sort of hit. This is 1981, I think. And the good track on here is The Swimmer. It's one of those female-y, you know, it's a bit floaty. It's a bit floaty, and it's great. It's great at 2 o'clock in the morning when you've had just that little bit too much to drink. Yeah, The Passions, 30,000 Feet Over China. There was another album, apparently it was rubbish, and apparently there was another album after this which wasn't very good. This is not, fucking hell, it's not get really excited about, but if you happen to own it, don't snap it over your knee. It has a place, and it's 2:30 in the morning. I feel like I kind of cheated you with this one because I don't know anything about it, but also at the same time, I don't really want to know anything about it. I occasionally enjoy listening to it late at night, and I think you probably would too. The Passions, 30,000 feet over China. Alright. Number 4, the usual dog in the manger, and this, if ever there's been a fucking dog in the manger, then this is it. This is something called Stylophonia. You are seeing what you think you're seeing. I bought this record, I think it was at a car boot sale 20 years ago, and it's been lying around my house, unplayed since then. I always thought it was a Stylophone album by Rolf Harris. Turns out it's not at all. I only looked yesterday, it said the Headstrong remix. I thought, what the fuck is that? Actually put it on last night, and it is the most obnoxious, vile, obnoxious piece of shit you've ever heard in your life. This is, if you want to look at the back, that's why I bought it. I thought it was an album of Stylophone music, but it's not. It's some fucking awful cunts who've used samples of Rolf Harris in 1991, so we didn't know what was going to be, and they've made this horrible, obnoxious record. It's the kind of shit you hear coming out of a 40-year-old's car stuck at the lights from an horrible, obnoxious music. I couldn't find anything about this online. I had to look it up on YouTube, and it was there on YouTube. People were going, "Hey, fucking rubbish, mind the Reeves and that." Horrible. Really, really genuinely horrible. This is a rare thing, a record that has not one redeeming thing about it. Nothing, even down to the cover. They managed to put a multiple child rapist on the cover. That's how fucking awful this shit is. In fact, let's just fucking, there we, it's fucking dealt with. We never have to fucking hear it again. It's gone. Forget about it. Record number 5. I don't know if this is controversial. It may be controversial. Some people might get very upset. I know people that get upset, but it's the Smiths. It's the Smiths. The Queen is Dead. Now, I don't know what order. I don't know. I don't even know what year this is. I don't know what order Smith's albums came out in. I don't know. And there's like 5 of them, and I think they're all great and they're all as good as each other, and they could have come out in any order. Would make no fucking difference to me. So I could have picked any Smith's album, but I just happened to play this one last night. Still sounds great. Everybody hates Morrissey and loves Johnny Marr. Well, is that right? I don't know. Yes, you can hate Morrissey, and you know, in a lot of ways, I fucking hate him too. What a fucking letdown. Stop doing that shit! But still, I still like his music. I think the lyrics on this album are fucking hilarious. There's so many standout tracks. Boy with a Thorn in His Side. I Know It's Over. I listened to that very loud last night. Oh my god, my heart was swinging on a bit of string. I felt so fucking bad. Some Girls Are Bigger Than Others, There Is a Light That Never Goes Out. They're all great songs on this. And if you hate Morrissey, well, I don't know what to do. I would say that mostly pop stars are fucking boring these days. Mostly fucking boring, so I don't mind Morrissey being awful. Which he can be. I know he can be, but he's got a good enough catalogue. Especially the 5 Smiths albums. So there you go. The Queen is Dead. The Smiths. Morrissey. Come out. And finally, record number 6, finally of the year, record number 6. An absolute bona fide classic. It's XTC, Drums and Wires. This is their 3rd LP. I always thought it was their first till a few years ago. That's how fucking not clued up I am. This is a wonderful piece of work by a wonderful band, XTC, Drums and Wires. It's very simple, guitar, bass, drums, songs, but it's got lots of different kind of timings, and they're kind of creating their own genre in this thing, and it's something that they would stay with for their massive long career that's still going. I don't know how many albums they've done. 400,000! They've done a lot of LPs. I wish I had them all, but I've only got a couple, and this is the best one of the ones that I've got. This is the album that's got Making Plans for Nigel on, which I'm sure you know. It's probably their biggest hit and one of their greatest songs. But everything on here is great. They only ever did one tour because what's his name? What's his boss? I can't remember. I know their names and I've completely gone out of my head. But the main man had such terrible stage fright, apparently, that one tour and that was it. So they've survived solely on being a studio band. How the fuck they do that these days when nobody buys records? I can't fucking imagine. But anyway, yeah, it's a 10. You should rush out but if you don't have this, definitely rush out and buy it. XTC Drums and Wires from 1978/1979. Thank you so much for watching this. Sneak it in. Thank you so much for watching this, and I will be back next year from January onwards. I'm going to keep doing it. See what happens. You keep watching them, I'll keep making them, and it's been an amazing pleasure to do it. And have a fucking brilliant new year, and behave yourself. Don't drink too much. Don't drive. Don't beat anybody up. Keep it fucking mellow, okay? And I'll see you next year for more. What am I listening to? And why? See you later.